Hey, what is going on, you guys? We have got the Axial SCX10iii up here on the bench, and we're going to get this thing ready for Axial Fest. Start gearing up again. This was the truck that I got for Axial Fest last year. Loved it. Had a few issues with the motor ESC combo in it. Swapped all that out. We're good to go again. But I wanted to do a few upgrades. I was hoping to do before USTE, but didn't get them in time, and that's my own fault. But I got my order in late, and I have a couple things here from ScalerFab that we're going to be installing on this beauty. So this is their narrow winch bumper for the SCX10iii, and you can see it's got the all the holes there for mounting up a winch on there. We're going to put it on without a winch for now. I don't have the winch for it. We also have a matching rear bumper we're going to install, and then I also have the side rails right here that we're going to go on here and guard this thing even better. So a few things to install, shouldn't be too hard. We'll take a look at the fit and finish. But Troy and Casey were at USTE, and to save them shipping and just be able to get them in my hands, they brought them to me at USTE, which was awesome. I've just been slamming busy and haven't got them installed. So we're going to take the time and do it right now. So let's do it, you guys. I'm excited about this. Time for some upgrades for this. We don't want to go back with the exact same truck. So we're going to get a winch installed on here eventually. Get a worn winch on here. Maybe we'll do a reefs winch. We'll see. But first things first, we'll take a look. We did go ahead and installed the fusion system in here since the other one wasn't working, and the Hobbywing Axe system died on me. So we got this in here. It's working good, and we're just going to go onward with it from there. Didn't bother following up with Hobbywing on everything else with the other one. Basically got a day and a half of use out of it. It was for Axial Fest. I'm happy about it. Bought it in Michigan, died in Indiana. Never ran it in Virginia, where I'm from, so kind of weird. We'll go ahead and put the side ones on first. Kind of take a look at how they're going to go on here. Which side is going to go where. It looks like this one will replace this side. And should be pretty easy. Pretty simple fix here. Basically unscrew the old one, put the new one on, and be good to go. We'll see how quickly we can do this. All right. So that just slides in there. Only has one mount point, really, that we're doing. This is all adjustable later. One to the front. And depending on what body you use, this is going to change, of course. And then the back one will be a 2. So that's really nice and tight. That looks really good. Super clean. So they matched it up right. So even though it feels different than the way that they've angled this, being further to the front, it still is right. It just looks weird when you're putting it on. I'm going to keep this nice and tight. I don't want to be grabbing any unnecessary rocks on the trail, so I'm going to keep this nice and tight. I don't want to be grabbing any unnecessary rocks on the trail, so there we go. That's nice and tight. So when this body gets on here, we get everything lined up with the holes and everything out of the way. That body tucks right up in there. The next thing is going to be to remove the front bumper. There it goes. So what's cool about this one is it actually is going to mount right into our frame. It's not just going to put it into this plastic guard here that'll flex. This is going to get really nice and rigid, which is great. I'll line up our holes. Now the question mark here is, do I need to get a different screw? Because these aren't going to be tapped for this. So I probably need to do something that's going to allow it to run a longer screw through it and then put a nut on the back side. That's my guess. I mean, it feels like it's biting in there. I'm not going to strip it. If it loosens too much, I will just put a longer screw through and put a bolt on the other side. But it seems to be biting into the metal. It seems like it's tapping its way in there. So we're just going to go with that for now. We do want to put our mount back in here for our body post. So we'll get that in here lined up. But for now, they're not pulling out. It seems to be holding all right. So let's see that now with the body on. Body posts are good. Man, that looks real good. Yeah, that looks nice. That'll look real good with a winch on the front here. Kind of filling in this empty space. Kind of hangs out a little bit for it. So you're going to want to have that on there for the look. But it looks good. So once these are kind of screwed in, you have your sides, your front one. And last, we're going to do our rear bumper. Same deal, we're going to be taking this off at the back. Now what's neat about this one is that they build the body post part right into the bumper itself. So we just have to line that up right at the fenders here where these ones line up, because that's going to come off as part of the part that we remove. Boom, that came out easy. Man, such a simple upgrade here. Makes a big difference. Makes it look super good. This one will also screw here. Otherwise you have to drill another hole into this fender to get 2 attachment points. But if you don't, it'll just spin. So we have to do 2 attachment points. And there are 2 holes here that we can use. So I need to go get a screw kit. I don't have any up here actually, so I'll be right back. Alright, so I found a couple of screws and some nuts, and so we're going to just get this lined up here. We're going to put one in. That'll be the further back one. And then before we do anything else, we're going to just check this because it doesn't seem like these are going to line up. So we just want to verify that these posts are going to hit. Looks good. There's something weird going on with the back. What's it hitting? But it feels like it sits back, and then you got to pull it forward. But there's no way I can take this closer here, unless I drill new holes, because I slid these as far forward as they're drilled. So I may have to look and see how some other people have mounted theirs, because it feels like it should be tighter, which is what I was wondering when I was looking at this from the beginning, is where these body posts met was right up there. But there's no way to get this to go that close with both of the screws in here to really lock this tight like it is. just so you guys don't think that everything goes perfectly smooth around here, this bumper that I got here is not cut enough. So it should, looking at the pictures and the diagrams and watching their video on how to install this, these slots should be a lot further back. So I'm not sure what happened, but they're definitely not far enough back. And so it's not allowing me to get these close enough to mount the body on there. And to make matters worse, the screw is now stripped out that I used to put it in. So I've got to try and either, I've got several things now I have to Dremel or punch a hole in or, yeah. So I'm hoping if I use a different bit here, it'll get some kind of bite. Oh, thankfully it did. But things don't always go smoothly. That is really rounded out in there. These should definitely be back further. We are at the furthest point on this, and it is not, it's just not far enough based on where these holes are here for me to work with. So we've got 2 holes already here that I should be able to use. And with these going in right there, it's too far away. It needs to be in probably like here. I mean, that was, and they say they sandwich this, so we have to cut a hole. So you're sandwiching the plastic between these, which I watched on their video now. I was going on the outside so that I wouldn't have to cut it. But yeah, if you sandwich this, we've really got to get this in about this tight, and that is beyond our holes, which we can't see anymore, which is a bummer. But I've probably got to come out another quarter, half an inch or so. Probably quarter of an inch will do. So that means either drill press or I've got to grind that out more somehow. I think I'll just try and drill press a hole and get it close enough. So I will go back to it being on the outside here so I can see where that hole is. Whatever that distance is between the two, that's how far I need to do it. So this is hitting at the secondary hole. So if I just measure this distance, I should be able to put a hole in at whatever that distance is between these. Add that here, put a hole in, and do that on both sides, and I should be good to go. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do real quick. All right, I drilled out a couple of crummy holes here. Didn't really fit in the drill press real well, so I kind of faked it. So now I need to get a body reamer here. Make a little hole where this is going to be. Get right about here. Don't need anything biting us. Already got enough demons we're trying to battle right now with this thing. Alright, I think you guys are going to lose your view for a little bit while I just try and struggle with this to get it to work. But with these, not everything always goes exactly how you think it's going to go, and that is just something to know about the hobby. Sometimes you have to get innovative, and that's what makes it a hobby. Not everything is going to be as plug and play as you want. Now, before I go and bolt those together, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to check our fit here. Something's catching up front here. Ah, yes. That is fantastic now. So our back is lining up perfect. Looks good on there. Front is lined up perfect. Got a nice tight rock slider on here now. Everything is looking real spiffy on it. I like it. Cool. So it took a little bit of work on that. I won't say that it was bad. I did have to use a tool, a power tool, beyond my little trusty screwdriver here. So now I do have to finish putting my screws in here on the back, or my nuts on, before I forget. We'll wrap that up by installing a few nuts. We let you guys know what's going on. If we have a little bit of an issue, you know, we want you to know that that's part of our hobby experience too. So nothing to get upset about. Just got to work around it. We found our workaround. Wasn't bad at all, by the way. If I didn't have a drill press, I'd have just drilled it out with a drill and been good to go. It wasn't that thick of metal. Just get your measurements, go to town. Alrighty guys, there we go. Like most Jeep owners want to do, we've taken this thing and we've gone aftermarket with it. Aftermarket, little bit of a stinger here of the narrow bumper, winch bumper by ScalerFab. They're rock sliders on both sides and the rear bumper. So it looks good. It adds a little bit of weight there. Front, rear, and sides. Feels well balanced still. That fit in real nice, that's for sure. Tuck the front in. Good to go. This actually makes it also way easier to line the body up, not having the little guides that they have with theirs, with the stock rock sliders. So these will get scraped up. I'm okay with that. It'll take off some of the finish, but that's all part of the game, you guys. It's gonna look great. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. Troy and Casey, I hope you guys are doing well over at ScalerFab. Awesome to meet you down at the USTE, and I've got some more goodies from you guys that I bought afterwards. After I saw your UMG 10, I went ahead and bought a UMG 10, and then I bought your upgrade parts for it. So that's going to be something coming next for the channel. So guys, thanks for tuning in as always. Hope you have fun RCing. We'll catch you in the next video.